right, good afternoon, everyone. Thank you for being here for this third press briefing on the incident in Salinas. I want to start off right away by letting people know that the shelter-in-place order has been reissued and will remain in effect until further notice. It's very important. As you know, this area is densely populated, and it's time for people to start coming home, and they just cannot get back into their homes. And we don't know what time that'll be, so it's very important that we make sure our residents know that they need to avoid this area. Obviously, there's a lot of traffic concerns as well, with Market Street being closed, as well as Rossi Street and Sherwood Drive. So with that, just be safe and avoid this area. And I'd like to introduce Sheriff Nieto, who will give an update on our deputy as well as the tactical issues happening here today.
Good evening, and thank you everybody for coming out, and to your viewers, thank you for your patience. In fact, thank you to the entire community for heeding our shelter in place and doing the things that law enforcement is asking you to do. So let me give you a quick brief about what happened this morning that's led to where we are right now. So at 7:49, our deputy had a call for service. A single deputy responded. At 7:56, he asked for additional units to respond to his location. It was not an emergency situation at that point. He was just asking for additional units. At 8:46, though, shots were fired, and our deputy was hit. He was hit multiple times by the suspect, and he was transported. Well, a couple things. I want to say that there was heroes today that happened. With the call for an officer-involved shooting, type of call, officer needs help, officer down. Call went out for our deputies, and immediately Salinas PD responded. The deputies that we had on scene, Monterey County Sheriff's deputies responded in, and all the agencies that you see behind me, they started responding from their cities and their locales. So I just want to say there was heroes. Our units, Salinas units, actually did an officer rescue. The officer was transported then to Natividad. I want to thank the Natividad doctors. He was in surgery all morning long with the gunshot wounds. We were very worried at the beginning. We still ask for people's prayers and good thoughts for our deputy, because he will survive, but he's going to have a long recovery, obviously from being wounded, doing his job. Again, I want to thank the public for their support. And I also want to let everybody know that we're supporting the deputy's family, that we are taking care of their needs. We're not releasing a lot of information at this point. At some point we will release more information, but out of respect for his family, we won't be releasing that right now. So they are not alone. They are not alone in this. They are part of the bigger law enforcement family. And so I just wanted the public to know about that, because we've got a lot of well-wishers and asking, what can I do? Right now we're just asking the public to shelter in place. I want to again thank the public for their patience during this. It's been a very long day, and it's a still ongoing, evolving event that we have not resolved. We are hoping to resolve this peacefully, but we do still have a suspect, and it is a barricaded suspect that we know is armed and dangerous at this point. But I also want to remind the community, this is a time for unity. When things like this, we need to come together. We need to support our law enforcement and our public safety, and we need to honor them, the deputies' dedication, because deputies like this, law enforcement like this, do these kind of routine calls day after day that can turn very tragic by the end. I'm hoping that our elected officials understand that this is a hard job, and that they provide the budget that I need as the sheriff in order to do our job safely, to keep our community safe. The last thing I want to say before I turn it over back to our PIO is that our community all needs to reject violence. We need to do something about guns, and we need to do something about it to make everybody safe. Again, my deputy's going to survive, but that's not always the case. On my badge today, I have a black band, because just several weeks ago, a Riverside deputy was killed, again, on just routine calls, and you just don't know how they're going to end up. With that, I'm going to turn it back over to the PIO.
All right, thank you, Sheriff. And at this time, I'd like to introduce to you Special Agent in charge of the FBI, Mr. Robert Trapp from the San Francisco Bureau.
Thank you very much, and thank you, Sheriff. As was said, my name is Robert Tripp. I'm the Special Agent in charge of the FBI San Francisco Field Office. I'd like to begin by saying that our hearts go out to the deputy that was injured this morning. We are keenly aware at the FBI of the dangers that our first responders face in keeping the American people safe. So our hearts go out to the deputy and to the deputy's family. The FBI is here to support the effort today. We are doing this primarily through deploying our specialty teams. Specifically, we have deployed our crisis negotiators, our SWAT team, and our evidence response team, and we will be here as long as it takes. I'd like to thank our local partners for the tremendous professionalism that they handled the situation today, specifically the Monterey County Sheriff, Salinas Police Department, and all of the departments that are with us today. Thank you very much.
Okay, and we have a little bit of time for a few questions, so if you'd like to ask a question.
I'd like to defer to the sheriff to address all matters related to the subject.
So right now it's an ongoing investigation, so we're not releasing information about the suspect because we want to resolve this peacefully, and so we don't want to tarnish and create any biases for or against the suspect. We just want it to end peacefully in our community.
Question, has there been any progress and how are you guys negotiating with him? Is it over the phone or how are things being worked out right now?
So we're making every effort to talk to the suspect, but again, we're not going to give out specifics because we don't talk about what we do tactically in these situations. Again, you know, the message here is we just wanted to end it peacefully. If the suspect is watching, you know, please surrender. Let's end this now and let's do it safely. We'll get you the help that you need, but let's end it peacefully.
And at this time, are you releasing the name of the deputy shot?
No, we're not, out of respect for his family. They're still making notifications, and so at some point we will release the deputy's name. He is a 17-year veteran of the Monterey County Sheriff's Office. He's 40 years of age, dedicated professional. So again, our hearts and prayers go out to him and his family.
Can I ask where the deputy was shot and how many shots were fired?
Again, I can't release that, and I would, again, out of privacy, and it's an investigation, and there's also rights that we don't release that kind of information, me as the leader of the Sheriff's Department.
Sorry, how long did you say, sir?
He's 17 years. He's a 17-year veteran of the Sheriff's Department.
Do you know, you have a lone suspect? Is there anybody else?
So what I can share is that we believe we only have one suspect right now. You know, things change, but we do believe it's one suspect, that we're dealing with one suspect. And again, if the suspect is watching, please surrender. We'd like to end this peacefully because we don't want anybody hurt. And to that suspect, we will help you. We will get you the help that you need. Again, I also want to talk, you know, behind me you see several agencies, you see the chiefs, the leaders of several agencies, and I want to thank them. I can tell you for the community that the investigation will be very transparent. We'll find out, you know, what led to it, we'll make the corrections, and we just hope to end it again peacefully.
And Sheriff Nieto, have you spoken to the deputy? If so, what was said?
So I've not spoken to the deputy, although I've been to the hospital several times. I've spoken with the family, and I've not spoken to him not just because he was in surgery for a good part of the day, and he's in recovery. So it's very limited, and it's very important at this time that the investigation is done properly. So he'll be only talking to investigators, and two, the family needs to be with him at this point. The sheriff will get an opportunity to see how he's doing, but it's important that he knows that his loved ones are around him.
Thank you all very much. We appreciate your time, and we ask the community to continue to give their thoughts and prayers to our deputy. Thank you so much.
Thank you.